Hello and welcome to the Skylight Pool channel. My name is Umed and I'm the owner and the operator of Skylight Pool. Today we're going to be talking about the saturation point in Cardano. About 2 or 3 days ago, I posted a poll on Twitter asking my followers and anybody who follows Cardano about which topic I should cover next. So saturation was the top of the list, and today we're going to be talking about it in detail. More specifically, though, we're going to be talking about why it exists. We're going to be talking about how it's calculated. And most importantly, we're going to be talking about how it affects your returns, its impact on your returns. So stay tuned and let's get right into it. In Cardano, we have a concept called saturation point. In very simple terms, saturation point is a point beyond which the pools are economically discouraged to grow. And it exists actually to encourage decentralization. The way you calculate the saturation point is by taking the total supply, which is 45 billion minus the reserves, and dividing it by something called the K factor, which at this point is set at 150. So dividing those two, taking those two numbers and dividing one by another, we get 212 million 0.4 as a saturation point. Now I would like to basically show you how it actually looks like in the mainnet. And if you go to a pool tool, you will see that there is a column called live stake. And if you take that live stake column and sort it, you will see that the saturation actually is a color-coded sort of signal there. In this example, we have two pools that are clearly oversaturated, meaning that they are earning their stakeholders are actually earning less than they would have earned with another pool. And we have a nice example for you guys to show how much less they are earning. To go back to our Excel sheet, I will show you. So the mechanism, the way that actually works is that let's say that the pool is is a growing pool. It starts at 20 million and it starts growing to 40 and to 60 million to 80 million. On the x-axis here you see the pool size, and then on the y-axis you have the after-tax pool rewards, the total pool rewards. As you see, the system basically gives the pool, as it grows, its fair share of rewards. Its rewards actually go linearly with the amount of stake it manages to attract. But when it hits the saturation point, those rewards get capped. And any stake that comes in after that basically does not increase the size of the rewards. And this is how basically the returns for stakeholders get reduced. And to show you graphically how that happens, there's another graph that shows that. So it's basically the same scenario. You have a pool that is growing from 20 to 40 to 60 and eventually hitting the saturation point and then going beyond that. And you can see that the returns basically start deteriorating as soon as they hit a point that is right after the saturation point. So when they are in a saturated pool, the stakeholders always get less returns, and the severity of that return reduction is a function of how much further away they are from the saturation point. Now I have a model here that actually shows you guys the effect of the saturated rewards and the not saturated rewards. Now in this example, I'm taking Sky as a basically showcase. Sky has a 5% basically variable fee, and the normal fixed fee. And then I'm taking the saturation point that the IOG has reached, for instance, right now. And then I'm saying, you know, the IOG, if IOG was charging only 5%, not 7, you know, what would have been the effect? What's the effect of saturation on rewards? So if you look at these two graphs, you can see that, you know, with Sky, which is currently at 19 million, the stakeholders actually get 5.28 in terms of return on stake on their staking. But if they are staking with IOG, for instance, if IOG was charging 5% rather than 7%, they would be getting 3.93. So this is the effect of the reduction is due to the saturation, oversaturation actually. And to illustrate in ADA terms, the reward on 100K in a non-saturated pool is basically 70, and the reward on 100K on a saturated pool is 52, a 25% reduction. So that's basically a you know, the illustration of two pools, each with the same cost structure, but one is below saturation point and the other well above the saturation point, and their respective returns for you. Now, there's another actually point that I wanted to drive home with this video, and that is the point that it's actually more beneficial to stake with a pool that charges you a higher variable fee but is non-saturated than stake with a pool that charges you much less and is saturated or oversaturated. And to illustrate that point, I took the Ocean, which is the second oversaturated pool that we have on PoolTool, and they are standing at 226 million, and they're charging 0.90%. So they're very low fee. Amazing guy. There's nothing against that guy. The problem with pool operators is that they have no control over who delegates to them. So there's nothing wrong with people who actually run these pools. It's just people decide to, for one reason or another, to delegate with saturated or oversaturated pools. And the reason for this video actually to educate you guys, saying that, you know, if you're with oversaturated pool, you're actually making losses. So to illustrate this point, somebody who is right now staking with Ocean, for instance, could be getting 5.63% in ROS, but they could be getting 5.27% in ROS, and compare that with 0.90%, right, fees. Compare that to a pool that is charging you much higher fee, let's say 3%, 3.15, and is much smaller. Let's say you would be getting 5.39 with a pool that is 20 million ADA big, and is charging you 3 times pretty much in that respect. So you have to be cognizant of these kind of nuances when you make decisions about staking, because these decisions of staking with a pool that has grown too big actually cost you much more than the variable fees would cost. So that was the point of this video, and I hope you really enjoyed it. And if you do have any more questions or would like me to cover more topics, please do let me know. I'm on Twitter. I'll put my details on the bottom of this video, and I'll talk to you guys next time.